All right, so now I'm going to do my own homework, bumbling through after creating several new videos for the class. And you can see that when I open the class up here and I go to modules, I have added a tutorial videos by Culhane discussion area. And I've got the Google Doc, that's this one here. I've got that linked in, and I also have put into this Google Doc everywhere. I've put in tutorials so that when you go to here, you have tutorials, and those same tutorials that are on YouTube are also in here. And looks like Abigail has just written in our group, and she says, good, she can see the recording now. And I just have to say, keep in mind that often we were at each other's computers in the room, so you won't see everything that went on, but everything is covered in the video tutorial playlist here. And that video playlist will have to be, I guess I'll come back to this. I'll open this in a new window. That tutorial playlist is this one here.
Welcome to.
And if I share that, or can I share that? Oh yeah, that's the list there. So that should do it for her.
Smells bad.
And get to it. I thought I already. Oh, it's got open 3 tabs. Okay. So we can close this and close this. Hopefully she'll get this. And that's how we keep in touch with one another. All right. So we do have now this list of video tutorials, and it actually tells you how long they are. 35 minutes here, 56 minutes here, and 39. And at 2 points per hour, you definitely, just by watching all of these and recording yourself watching it, you'd have 1 minute there, 26, 27, so that's 28 minutes, and another 20 is 48 minutes, and then another 20. So we're at about 1 hour and 10, and then another hour is 2 hours and 10, and then that's almost another hour, that's 3 hours, and then 4.5 hours, and then the big one, 5, 6, 7 hours, and then 8, and
100
and that makes me think 9 hours, and then 9.5, 10, 10.5, 11, 11.5. So right now we're at about 11.5 hours, whereas if somebody just sat down and watched all these, they would make their...
They were about 10 million hours.
They would definitely get over 20 points, which would be a week's A without doing anything. So if I watch it, that might be
there 10
boring.
million hours?
Well, I haven't made 10 million hours. In fact, I don't even know if I'm going to live long enough to see 10 million hours. How many years is 10 million hours? Let's ask ChatGPT. How many years is 10 million hours? Nye asks. So it is, unless it fantasizes, 24 hours in a day, and it tells you that. It's giving you the actual math of how you would do it. 1,141.5 years. Wow. What would you do if you had 10 million hours? Nye? That's as long as the entire Middle Ages. So I could not possibly do 10 million hours.
What about 1 million hours?
1 million hours? Well, you just divide by 10 then, so it's 141 years.
Daddy, what about 2 million hours?
Actually, 1 million hours is not going to be divided by 10 because hours are different than days.
Daddy, what about
your question of 1 million hours?
What about Daddy, can you
114 years.
Daddy, can you do 0?
The 0 is just nothing. 0 is nothing, son, and I got to keep working on this because I'm recording.
Daddy,
yes, son.
can you show me how 0 looks like in number blocks?
I can put number blocks on for you. Want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm back, and so we're putting all these into the course there. We do everything in the discussion section because we want you to be able to reply and say stuff down here, and then you can get some credit for that. You can also, at any time, go into the YouTube, watch on YouTube, and then you can do any comments you want in the comments here. And if you find something you're confused at, like let's say you're looking down here at this part about putting in a new spatial bookmark, you could then say, well, that's at 746 in the video. So you would type down here 746 and then say spatial bookmark. Do these persist without saving? For example, if you have a question and when you hit comment, then 746 is going to come in blue. So no matter where you are in the video, you could come back and say, well, I need to get to that section, and bang, you're
say show spatial bookmark
back there.
manager.
So that's really handy, and we want to encourage that you use that to annotate. That's one way that you can spend your time. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm going into QGIS, and I'm looking at climate change in QGIS so I can learn and recording my time in here. And this guy is talking about using something he calls...
I'm going to close QGIS and start a fresh session.
Open Modeler Desktop Plugin. So
in this scenario, you would not be using layers that are already loaded inside of QGIS, but rather you would be creating a layer set which defines one or more layers that are named into a collection called a layer set. In order to do this, we use the Open Modeler.
So he's got this thing called layer sets that I don't know anything about and I'd like to know about. Does he allow one to comment? Yes. So here at 50, so 050, he talks about layer sets. And then I can find it next time I want to. So I can just jump right to it. But what is layer sets here?
Modeler Layer Set Manager, which you can find as an icon over here on the Open Modeler.
Do I have Layer Set Manager? That could be nice. Let's see. So I don't see what he's showing. He shows this Layer Sets plugin. This is an old version of Quantum GIS, way old, and it may have been deprecated. It may not work. I can look at plugins and see if there is a layer set plugin. And see layer set. Let's see layer set. Nothing under layer set. So I often go and I ask chat. Hey chat.
Daddy,
Is there still a layer set plugin for 3.8 in QGIS? And we'll see what it says.
Daddy.
So it's saying to us that there's no more layer set plugin in 3.8. There's a pick layer that allows you to define layers to search from for setting the active layer. I'm not sure that we need that. Let me go and see what he's doing here.
Modeler toolbar. When you initially open it, you'll see that there are no layers defined, no layer sets defined. So to create our first layer set, we can simply give it a name.
Is that what I want to do?
To the layer set, present data set, mean to the variable layer are semantically equivalent. I'll do the same.
So I'm not sure that this
Once
is what
again,
we really
use
need.
Bioclim created. I want to create the model using present data, and then I will be projecting it into a future scenario. And then I'm going to alternate into the future scenario. Choose where this model should be projected into. You'll see that there are 2 layer sets listed here.
So that's interesting to me, but not something I really want to do. What about the Open Modeler QGIS plugin? Let's see if there's an Open Modeler. Open, the word open, no Open Modeler. Just open topography. Then that's not going to help. Alright, so I don't think that this old video is what I necessarily need. Downloading world climatic data, we did that the other day. It's my own video there. QGIS in detail, LIDAR and climate action planning. This could be interesting.
Systems engineering here in Winnipeg with an be a accurate new culvert. Ensure you're in the same coordinate reference system ID data. If we want to save, this saves the points. We right click and enter an ID. Now we'll put in B123ish. Input a unique ID for your point. Let's
see, is there any data we can work with? There's QGIS. Here's the LIDAR training series. And then strategic systems engineering. So what does this give us? This is bringing LIDAR information in. Tells us about LIDAR, tells us about a DEM, all great stuff, installing QGIS. And if I work through this, I would start working with LIDAR, which I've not worked with before. Let's see what we can get. Sourcing LIDAR for Manitoba. And so they're using the Red River, and they have this data under digital elevation models. Well, might as well learn how to use LIDAR instead of using typical DEMs. All right, because it's, so the URL is right there. And let me go to here. See if this stuff still exists. All right, good. So far as it goes. And it's the LIDAR video. And there's the file. So he says sourcing building data. And then so this is using, instead of a gridded TIFF file, it's got GeoJSON file. A group of polygons, most of which being rectangles, shaped buildings are located, which have IDs. Can be dragged and dropped into QGIS on the fly, just directly to the layers pane. And it needs to be imported. Involves representing real-world locations on the surface of the Earth. An oblate spheroid, to be precise. Alright, so is it going to tell me? Then we have the CRS. It can only be one at a given time. It should match that of the LIDAR piece that's already been imported. Using QGIS raster calculator. Alright, this is quite a document, and therefore, let's see where all of this was just teaching you the basics, basic functions. So you start out knowing nothing. Oh, they do want to have something else in here. Download installer. Okay, so they're just saying you can get it from this website. So I don't need that. I've already got QGIS. The status bar. Nice stuff though. It's good to have this. So I need to put this LIDAR training into my GIS for climate tutorial so I have it in the future. Sourcing LIDAR. Let's It's been added to tax funded. I've got the current URL under Digital Elevation Models tab on the left side, which appear after clicking Download Maps and accepting the disclaimer. So if I go to Download Digital Maps and I accept the disclaimer, which I didn't read, now it's telling me, bring this over to the far right, so it's telling me that at the bottom of the page is a link called LIDAR Various that points to a library of LIDAR datasets that are published as they become available. Graphic is there, document showing the technical specs and a link to the DEM. To download any or all, click on the blue links. Each comes in a zip folder, which is used to save space. Has to be unpacked. Several programs can do this, but 7-zip will do this. I think I have 7-zip. I don't know. Usually I do. 7-zip file manager. Yeah, I've got that. I got 7-zip. All right, good. So what does it want me to get? DEM, which will come in the form of a TIFF file. They're images. We know that. When unpacking files, put them in a convenient location. Can't contain spaces. Can easily be dragged and dropped. But for Manitoba, it can be found in a code repository called GitHub Canada Footprints. To obtain the data, click and the zip file will begin downloading. Alright, so let's download the zip, and that one's downloaded. Alright, what am I going to do with that? Don't know yet, right? Should be in the downloads folder, but I can cut it and bring it into my GIS for Climate tutorial. Paste it there, and then I'm supposed to un7-zip it. Extract all, compressed. I guess it doesn't let me, so more options. If I wanted to extract the 7-zip, would it let me? Microsoft wants you to use its own thing, I guess. But 7-zip is open here, and I can add it. What if I were to drag it? Will it let me drag it? Yeah, I guess so. And add and replace, archive, say OK. And what did it do? Did it zip it? It just made a master 2. I don't want that. I wanted 7-zip unzip. Can I just unzip it like this? Without using 7-zip? I sure can. Alright, so that master has a footprints master in it. And then it's got these images. What? Who cares about those? Semantic segmentation, polygonization. That ain't interesting. That ain't interesting at all. Why did I even bother with that? What was going on here? English. Oh, I seem to have lost my. There we go. So what was that all about? Layers. Blah blah blah. Canada building footprints. Click on the link for Manitoba. Oh, I guess I didn't do that. I should have. Let's go open a new tab. I'm just not reading carefully. Click on the link for Manitoba. So that was just this stuff here. So there should be some link for Manitoba. There we go. That's what I should have clicked on. And that's going to start downloading. Alright. So I shouldn't. All those pictures I got were just these pictures for this. It was not that. So there's Manitoba zip. And it says it's a GeoJSON file. But it's inside a zipped file. So if I go in here and say show in folder, there's Manitoba. If I try to extract it using my own Microsoft extractor, let's see what happens. Fair enough, it did it. And there's the GeoJSON. So with that, I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to paste this in here. And I'm actually going to create a new folder called Canadian Building LIDAR Tutorial. And then I are a little bit better organized. Paste this into here. Manitoba is now in there. And is there anything else I need to bring in here? Master, we don't need that. So we have Canadian footprint master, and this master we're going to get rid of. They were nothing. Alright. But I do have Manitoba. And he's probably going to tell me that I should just go in here and drag Manitoba in. So I will drag it right in there. And see if something happens. Did anything happen? It's doing something, it's processing. Wait for that. Flip on pause. And it's come in. There it is, Manitoba. Don't see anything yet on the map. They look like they're shape files, polygons to be precise, because of this green box that's there, but it is taking a while for them to show up. And even if I go to zoom the layer, aha, there it is. Oh my, that's a big data set with a lot of polygons in it. Those are houses. Well, now we know, because we have been doing this for a while, that we can go in and we can add a map and bring in our Google hybrid map so we can see what the heck we are at. There's Winnipeg, Manitoba, and all those houses are coming in. Not all the data is on there, but certainly is a lot of polygon data in there. It's all sort of coming in now. It takes a while. It's a big data set. If we look at the attribute table, it is, wow, 632,982, oh my gosh, 6,300,000, wasn't it? 632,982 records, and that's why it's taking, ooh, look at all those features. Oh my goodness gracious. So if we want anything there, we have to wait, or abort. It's a lot of stuff coming in the attribute table. Jeez Louise. Now it's coming in, but it's just a huge number of features. Yay for that. I don't see anything. So the data still hasn't come in yet. But there are some records, whatever they're good for, I don't know. Maybe they're zip codes or something. Maybe it's just numbers. Because if I click on just this one and say go to feature, that's not even going to let me. So many, it's taking so long to draw. Wow. Alright, that's a lot. Hooray. University of Winnipeg. Alright, so what do we want to do with this data that we've pulled in here? Don't need GitHub anymore. Sourcing building data. We got the data, we clicked on it, we got Manitoba. From there, the files inside the zip folder to be extracted is placed in the convenient location. Instead of a gridded TIFF file, there's a GeoJSON. It's a group of polygons, most being rectangles, which have IDs associated with them. That's what we saw. We dragged and dropped and directed the layer pane. We did that. Parcel data. Manitoba government keeps records of the legal parcel fabric along with property values. This service is available in the Geo portal. So view full details on the left pane. Click on download. Select shapefile. Might as well get through that. What the heck? Geo portal. Go to the home page. Can we get that data? What's it telling us? Oh, gee, I went out of my document. So, we want to right click on this, or it seems like I need to get the whole thing, and I can't really click on that. So, copy and then paste, but it's got a messed up part here. Maybe this will work. That there, and it's still getting nothing. It ain't got nothing. What are we searching for then? Search all data. And searching for, click on the download, view full details. Open data. Click on the view full details button on the left pane. View full details. Where's view full details? View full details. View full. Nothing shows up. Bottom pane. I don't see anything. Bottom on the left pane. Then click and select shapefile. Manitoba property assessment. So we need to get, with Manitoba maps, there's 50 of those. Manitoba property. That didn't show. There's one in Manitoba. Rabies. Manitoba property. Maybe it's been taken down. Nothing matching property. Darn it. Geoportal Manitoba property assessment information. Maybe we won't do property. Maybe we'll do something else. So there's other data from Manitoba. Rabies might be fun. Agriculture, service centers, water body data, water body, provincial water lines, forest section boundaries. There's so many more results. Search Manitoba property. Municipality data set. I guess I don't even like that data set. It's just going to be different. So if I want to do something else, I guess I just have to get my mind around doing something else, like Manitoba parks. Should be more interesting. Data set, download. That's interesting. You know what? I think I might really want to get, like, explore categories. I don't care about economy and government and all that. I do care about environment and health and agriculture. So maybe I'm just going to look for that and look for animal welfare, Manitoba animal welfare, disease, municipality, rural entering, hog prices. I'm not so interested in that. That's under that. Crop prices, escalating enforcement. Maybe I should look at agriculture. Maybe I shouldn't look at agriculture. Maybe I should look at environment and agriculture. And maybe I should look at forest. Oh, soil survey. Hey, that's interesting. I wonder if that's LIDAR. See, what we need is LIDAR. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to use this well. It's, few details, quick download. But that's just a shapefile. Both GeoJSON and shapefiles fall under a second data class called vector data. It's derived from equations, has a pen stroke appearance, and always has a corresponding relational database associated for each feature. Point, trees, water stations, lines, polygons, got that. And then there's importing the LIDAR, and we don't really need that. So we just need information here. So if we look at soil, too many records, try zooming in. Fine, I don't mind zooming in. And if we look at but we want to be somewhere near Manitoba, or we're losing all of our, like, I need to be in Manitoba. And I don't know the area, so I don't know what makes Manitoba Manitoba. Where is it? There's Winnipeg. Is Winnipeg in Manitoba? I don't even know anything about this. That's how ignorant I am right now. I had a friend from Winnipeg. Have a friend from Winnipeg. And I'm just going to have to ask, is Winnipeg in Manitoba? And it says Winnipeg is the capital of the Canadian province of Manitoba. So I'd like to know, what city are we in here? That is Winnipeg. Okay, so we're at Winnipeg. Right there. Well, that's Winnipeg. Therefore, when we go to our the soil survey, we should be able to get soil types. Very nice. Right around Winnipeg. What if we do the area Manitoba soil survey Manitoba? That's Winnipeg. What if we get this parcel down here? Soil survey, city of Winnipeg, phases, agri, something like that. If we do that, can you download that? Undock, public records. You can do download. From here, filter data, more info, download, add to favorites, share. I download, I'm downloading as a shapefile, I believe. Isn't that what he said to do? So, click on the download button and finally select shapefile. So I'm going to select a shapefile for that parcel there. Not a GeoJSON. And having that, it's going to take a while, I guess, to get the soil survey info because there's no way to extract it. So it's probably going to be all of it, which is like a lot, but not too much, 291 megabytes. Meanwhile, I need to ask chat the difference between GeoJSON and shapefile. What's the difference? GeoJSON and shapefile. It says, great question. Glad you like my question. File type, multiple type. Coding. Stores geometry, requires multiple files. Software. Use cases. So it's more useful to have a GeoJSON. GeoJSON, when you're working with web applications like Leaflet, Mapbox, Open Layers, and a single portable file, easy to share. You want human readable, lightweight data. Shapefile, if you're using traditional GIS, ArcGIS, or QGIS, you need better performance for large data sets, and you require multiple coordinate systems. You can easily connect them with Save As in the Layers panel. So, okay, GeoJSON is fine. What do we want to use here, though? We have this data, and it is soil survey. It's a zip file. But we're taking the shape file and bringing it in. So we got a lot of different stuff in here, but if we go to QGIS and we drag in just the soil survey shape file, we should be fine. Except it's not letting us drag it in. Why? Because it's zipped, probably. So let's go back to where we downloaded it and go to the downloads and go to here and find it in the folder, and let's drag it. Let's extract it. And after we finish extracting it, and only then, so I'm going to get rid of Manitoba and that because I don't need extra stuff on my hard drive. But the soil survey now can be cut and put in my Canadian building LIDAR tutorial. Paste. 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 Alright, now that it's in there, I should be able to drag this into QGIS and drag it on soil survey. Yep. Alright. So there's the soil survey, but I don't see it showing up yet. Turn off Manitoba, speed it up. All right. So the bigger I go, the more soil survey I get. And I guess what you'd have to do with the soil is double click on it, change it from single symbol to categorized. But for that, we'd have to see what the darn data says. So we have to open the attribute table. There's just a huge number of records. Oh my god. But it's got scale and date and all this. Alright, so this is a chat question because I'm not following these directions anymore. Let me come here. Oopsie. And save this project. Save as Manitoba. Save it again as Manitoba. Manitoba. Alright. This is Manitoba. Now chat. How should I best represent this soil survey shape file? The tutorial did not use this data set, so I am unsure what to do next. And it's so smart. So smart. I'm a private tutor here. So chat, tell me. Shell data name, blah blah blah. Classification, apply symbology, open layers, click properties, single to categorized. Set the value to soil code 1 or class 1. Choose class 1. Soil type. Okay, I'll do that. We'll go here, click on symbology. We'll go to categorized. I will use classify. Doesn't know what to classify. I'm going to add, oh, that's a symbol, so that doesn't help. So I need to figure out how, look what I'm adding. The value. Alright, so the value was class, it said. Class 2. Soil code, class 3. As class 1. Alright, those are all the classes. Apply it. Phew, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. It's a lot of loads. And it doesn't seem to want to let me do anything with it. It's a lot of loading. So I may just sit there forever while I try to classify it. Is it ever going to stop? It's like caught in an endless loop. I don't know what to say. It's like adding features, and whenever I go, because it's got 115,000 It's getting up. Stop. It ain't going to get there. It's just crazy. Stop. Right, abort. Abort. Like abort. Man, this is nuts. So obviously I need to clip this stuff severely or I'm like lost. Abort, 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 abort. Stop using class 1. Abort. Oh, boy, that's a lot of stuff. It won't let me out of this endless loop. Simple fill. That's not going to help me at all. Just let me out. No, let me out. Clearly I need to get out of this. So, because this is such a huge data set, this is Manitoba. You can see even if I put the soil behind this, I'll never get this tutorial done. I can't even get Manitoba to sit on top of this because it's allowed it. It's so big. Let me turn these off. Go zoom into Manitoba. Winnipeg. Winnipeg. So we're looking at these soil types. And then there was housing. And what I need to do is clip. I wonder if there's a vector clip. Clip. Extract. Clip by extent. Let's run that. Input layer would be soil survey. And the extent will be current map canvas extent. And then we will put the features to extent. And we will run it. And we get a soil survey extracted. We can turn this guy off. And then Manitoba will do the same thing. We're going to change the parameters and tell this that we want to get Manitoba and use the same extent and then create a temporary layer and then run it. And then we're going to let that process and then we're going to close it. And then we're not going to be dealing with such a huge data set, which is a pain. I'll pause it here while it processes. Alright, so I've got that clipped, extracted. So this here is I'll change the name here to extracted Manitoba and then change this one to extracted soil. Soil survey. Then I can turn those off, move the soil survey under there. These are the buildings, these are the extracted soil survey, and I'm only using that section, so it shouldn't be so bad. Now when I go to extracted soil survey and I do the symbology, maybe I'll have more success. If I go to symbology and I tell it that I don't want it to be a single symbol, but I want it categorized, I want it to be categorized by the soil class 1, and then classify. There's only 2 classifiers. No, 2, only 2. Alright, if that's what it is, that's what it is. And then OK. So there's XXX, whatever that is, and then there's this, which doesn't even show up. So I don't know what these classes are. That's if you do a class 1. Okay, anyway, now that we put this data in, let's see about this LIDAR, because that was the whole purpose of this, wasn't it? We're getting bogged down in all of this. So got the data, importing LIDAR. It needs to be imported. Downloading previous steps. Mathematics are complex. Where did I download LIDAR? LIDAR looks like grayscale. Yeah, but I didn't. Where in previous steps did we find LIDAR? Sourcing roll parcel data. Before with the LIDAR data, so as before, so somehow it came in, that's the building data. So the LIDAR raster was in this place here that we were at, Core Maps Data Warehouse, and we were supposed to go to digital elevation tabs on the left side of download maps. Digital elevation roll. Topographic maps might be under there. No. Transportation, town and village plans, digital elevation models. Okay. So the LIDAR, digital imaging, Red River LIDAR. Oh, I hope we got the Red River. South section very large. Red River LIDAR contours, doc, GIF, ASCII, and DEM. Well, let's go for the DEM. Breakpoints. Which one does it want us to use? Example piece, Cooks Creek. At the bottom of the page, there is a link called LIDAR Various. Graph showing its extent on a sample map. Showing technical specs. Click on the blue links. Alright, well, I guess. Southern Manitoba. We need Winnipeg. Complete refresh. Thames all various. It says LIDAR various. Arrow Oak. There are DEMs for all of these. Ah, and there's Red River Valley. So what is he suggesting? We use Cooks Creek. There's Cooks Creek. Let's see. Let's go to maps.google.com and let's put in Cooks Creek. And let's see how far Cooks Creek is from Winnipeg. So it's up there. Cooks Creek, eh? Do I have that in my view from Winnipeg? I've got Winnipeg. I'm on the south side of Winnipeg, so I really messed that up. I want to do Cooks Creek. I wonder if geocoding would take me there. Plugins, geocoding. Cooks Creek in Manitoba. Puts the dot right there. All right, so that's what I really need to get if I want to do something meaningful with this. So to get that extracted soil survey and extracted Manitoba, I want Cooks Creek. And so I'm going to use this, but I'm going to take the not the extracted, I'm going to say Manitoba first and let it calculate. There's no buildings up there, so I guess it doesn't matter. And the soil survey, here's the soil. So the soil certainly comes up pretty quickly. So if I do this and take my extract by extent of soil survey and tell it that I want to put features to the extent, which it will only do once I select use current map extent, and then hit run, it has surveys invalid geometry. I don't know. That's not horrible. Oh, that's nutty. Wait a minute. Get rid of that. Remove layer. What did I do wrong? I'm on soil survey, MB, and I'm using extract by extent. I'm using soil survey. It's the wrong. I hate this CRS stuff. It's driving me nuts. So I should really change the soil survey information to set project set to. But if I do that, it disappears. So that's not good. I hate that. I always warn you of it, and I hate it. Alright, well, it's 3857, and then click features to extent, and tell it that you want to do calculate from current map extent, and run it, and it keeps doing this no spatial index, invalid geometry, execution failed. I've got to ask ChatGPT about that. Okay. Is this a CRS problem? How do I fix this? Nope. Invalid geometry. Error states it has invalid geometry. One or more of the features shaped like topological errors. Can't process. Fixed geometry. To correct it, go fixed geometries. Need output. Okay. So go to processing and do fixed geometries. I should be able to do that. So let's remove this layer. Go to soil survey and do fix geometries. Do soil survey, pair method, and then the fixed geometries will just be a temporary. Fascinating. Without ChatGPT, think of the number of hours that you would spend trying to look this stuff up on Google and watching tutorials. We all should be able to learn QGIS or any GIS now that we have this endlessly patient and intelligent ally. So that's nice. Wandering through. Alright, executing it. There's fixed geometries, so this is. Let's rename this to fixed soil survey geometries. We can turn this off and take this now and do the vector clipping. Vector clipping, extract my clip by extent. Fixed one, the extent is still this right on the map, and then clip the features to the extent and run it. There we go. That worked. And so we don't need the fixed soil sort of geometries because we only want that. We don't want all that anymore. But it's fixed, so we'll keep it. We won't use it. So that's extracted. There's our creek, Cook's Creek right there. If I look at extracted, let's see if we rename extracted soil survey Cook's Creek. Then we want to do Manitoba the same way, because this is all that information. Otherwise, our extracted Manitoba is way down there, and we don't need that. But it doesn't seem like there's any buildings that are on this level anyway, like there were there. Doesn't seem to be anything at all. So there's no geometry there. Not a problem, and I won't do it. We'll take this, and I do want that LIDAR data for Cooks Creek. Let's see if there's anything that works for that. So I was looking at this, and I was looking for Cooks Creek LIDAR, and we'll see. Look at the DEM. I wonder what resolution it is. And usually it'll tell you. Inspect metadata. What's the metadata? The metadata says this data set, and it is selected range, citation, Winnipeg. How big is it? Spatial reference, horizontal, data quality, flown over 3 days and 4 lifts, 1 by 1 kilometer. To produce a 1 meter DEM. That's pretty good. It's within 30 meters. Alright, so it's a 1 meter DEM. That's pretty cool. So did it download? Oh, it seems like it's still downloading. Taking its sweet time. So I'll have to come back to you when it's run. Alright, finally it came. It's 4.6 gigabytes. So it took forever to download, and there it is. There's the DEM. Goodness gracious. So with that, if I can take that TIFF file, I guess I should copy it and paste it into my climate tutorial data here. I guess I can put it in Manitoba, and let me paste that in there. But it's so big.
Did you know that when you
And then I should get rid of it in the downloads folder because it's just tremendously big. And I'm using this time now to work on the books because I have lots and lots of stuff to do in there.
an even bigger pipe, and it goes to
But
this place called the
there,
wastewater treatment.
wastewater treatment plant,
And
yes.
there's bad bacteria and finally the good
But
bacteria.
we should be almost done with it. No, it's still taking sweet time.
Bacteria get so full when it's done eating it, and
These are new images, so I'm
and
going to
it
have
sinks
to...
to the ground, and more bad bacteria is left, and there's no more good bacteria to eat it. So you're in dangerous trouble.
Slide
So your toy is in
5.5.
dangerous trouble down there, and there's the gate to lock anything and from going passing.
And then there's this one here, the new
And
slide
then
6.
finally it goes to the light, which destroys anything left behind. And then
Okay,
the
looks like it did
leads
save
to the open sea.
in the right place now.
Yeah.
We just finished putting this in and putting in the last here. All that needs to be rewritten. But now that that is saved there, I should be able to get rid of it from the downloads. Although I'm not sure what I just did here because I put it into the Manitoba, and it is a DEM, and I hope it's unzipped. So let's go into here, and let's drop that DEM from here. Let's drop it in right on top. See if we get anything. Okay, multiple operations are possible for this. it says, please select the appropriate conversion operation. And so what does our document tell us? The document tells us that when you put it in, okay. At the bottom of GIS it says spatial reference. So we really want they say the LIDAR should be what we should use. And then put the others, or make the others like the LIDAR. So, inverse of UTM zone. Have WGS84 between.
Mommy, Daddy.
Yes, and I.
Can you, Daddy, Daddy.
Yeah.
You,
Destination. Source. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm not sure. We'll try it.
Clean my toys.
Maybe so. Oh, it didn't come in.
Help me clean
So,
my toys.
Second layer. No, that didn't do it either. Oh, or did it? Maybe it's hidden. Cooks Creek. No, I don't see that it is. What if we set it to 4326 and we set everything to 4326? Will that work? Or are we now just messed up completely? How long is it going to take to do this? Okay. Where's I zoom to this layer. It's way out in Nowheresville. So that does not help. It's massively huge. So that's not good. Oh, what a drag. This is absolutely massive. And if I look at the extractor here, Manitoba, but the LIDAR isn't coming in properly. And so what if I go back to here and zoom to the layer. I get to here, I need to take this out and try to bring it in again. Except I don't really know what I'm doing here. So there's the Cooks Creek LIDAR. I'll just wait for it. Okay, finally it did come in. It's a massive data set at 4.4 gigabytes. We only want it to be this part that we clip here. So this is what we were doing with Nathan the other night. If I want to have my Cooks Creek on top, let me drop that up there. It'll let me. That's the Cooks Creek. If I want that information in there with those soil types, then all I really need to do now is go to, in vector clipping we need to go to raster, clip raster by extent, and double click on that. We're going to use the input layer, the LIDAR DEM, and the clipping extent is going to be the it's going to be that. And save it to a temporary layer. So we're clipping that raster because we don't want that whole VEM by any means. Right? We don't want a big digital elevation map that covers areas that we're not interested in looking at. So we're clipping it.
Go to waveform
treatment blend. Okay, so it did it. And now when we look at the clipped extent, we can get rid of the big thing because we don't need it. And we just have that clipped extent. So that's our clipped Cooks Creek LIDAR, which we'll rename. Clipped extent Cooks Creek LIDAR, VEM. So that's that one. And the size is much different than, see if we clip that one on, then it takes like forever to come back. So let's not bother. We have what we need. All right, I think now that we have that, we can go back to the exercise and look at what it was saying. So it looks like a grayscale. Lighter areas represent lower and higher elevations. Darker and lighter is lower and higher elevations, respectively. You can inspect it, pass the sniff test. Another figure to check is the node data. I don't think I want to do all that, but I guess I can. Go to the transparency tab on the left in properties and see if it makes sense. So if we go to the symbology of this and we look at the transparency, no data values are that, that's good. Source is that. Go to a different coordinate reference system, and I'm not going to understand that at all. So I'm just going to work with that as it is. And then it's telling us to use the raster calculator. Millions of cells, process short of time. All rasters list will appear. The number after that is band number. Expression has to be supplied. It'll go over each pixel in the grid one by one by applying it as it goes. Expressions can be simple or complex. Grammatical, its simple way is flat plane, representing water surface during a flooding event. Calculate image to mask. The mask will show areas underneath the plane elevation and those above it. So the operation is assigned two values to the output mask, 0 and 1 representing below and above the plane respectively. So targeting values 0 and 1. The output is purely black and white grid. All right, so I guess we need to do that. So dem at, thank you for that apple. So it's saying it's the output layer, output format, raster band, and it gives us this raster bands DEM at 1. I just don't know if that. It's time to go back and ask chat. Finally came in at 4.6 gigabytes. I used raster clip to get the area I need. Now I am supposed to create a sea level plane in the raster calculator, and I need to know if at DEM, so I want DEM, and here is a placeholder for the name I need to use. I'm also going to show it. Oh, DM at 1, so I have to change that. Hold on a second, chat. Can't be raw. Good old chat. Okay, so that was good to know. So there it is. It's telling me good for you. Copy that. Great, thank you, chat. So we'll go to here and go to the raster calculator. And we will say the input layer will be the, which input layer am I using? Each thing. Or maybe I should go to something advanced then, because what's different? Expression, there we go. So the layers don't show up yet. Ah, because I never saved this layer. That's why. So I've got to make sure that I save this as an output, which I would call, it's local, so I want to change it. Layer name, I need to save this. So if I right click and I say export, save as, and it's a geotiff, which is, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no, what did I just do? There it is, geotiff. If I save that and I make this file name in here as Canadian, save that as that. So I need to use that name though. That'll be the name. Layer name. Won't give it to me. Okay. Now, has it been saved? It hasn't been saved. I was trying to, oh, it's running. I see. So first it's saving it. Down here. And then added it again there at 1. That one. I can then get rid of this because this is there. It's the same thing, but it has this name. Not sure what @1 means. And that one didn't have @1. So I should be able to then say, great, I want clipped. Oh, I could have used any one. I didn't have to save it. Well, I'll use this one. No, I won't. Let me turn that off. I have it saved if I need it. I've got this. This one here is the clipped one. And I'm going to select that.
Wait a minute, there's also the ultimate
And then one input selected, right? The expression that chat gave me is this. I'm not sure what @1 means, but we'll find out. And the output extent is going to be the same, although it should be at calculate from layer. Calculate it from there. And then the output is automatically set. And then we will save it to call it sea level. Sea level. Or what are we actually doing here? Sea level mask.
E level.
Yeah.
D level. Me level.
Sea level mask.
T level.
Then we run it. And we'll wait.
Poop level.
You're cute. Sort of. Like, oh, it wasn't generated.
Noob level. Pro level.
Log messages panel.
Noob level.
Why?
Pro level. Noob. Pro. Noob. Pro. Noob. Pro.
Maybe I should just do it and do it to it. Get rid of this and just do a temporary file. Let's try that. Missing parameter value calculated.
He's trying to get up there, but he's tilting, so I don't think he can. He didn't hurt him.
It didn't work. What does that mean? Let's try this again. If we were to take this, we were to do the raster calculator, and we were to tell it that we wanted to do the clipped Cook's LIDAR DEM, and then say OK, and then the expression is clipped external DEM @1. You're right there. Less than or equal to 20. So if that's the expression, and we say run, and we hope. Sit and we hope. Task failed. Darn it. Task failed. Error log shows potential issue. Player name must match exactly as it does in the bands list. Try without the @1. Alright. and the raster is loaded and active. Oh, could have been that. Could have been that. All right, so let's do this active. And now that it's selected and active, that's the one. Now we do raster calculator. We will select that as the input. Say OK. Our expression will be this, and then we will try to run it. Spent a lot of time troubleshooting all this once. Oh, it didn't do it. So it didn't do it. It contains floating data type. So much things. All right. Let's not try. Let's make it loaded and permanent. Let's try that first. Get rid of that. Click that. We will go back here. Our input selection will be no longer that. So let's try this again. And we'll tell it that we want to use this one. And the expression would be TM at 1. Oh, I didn't do that right. At 1. At 1. Let's try that. Oh, I'm missing parameter. Oh, I didn't get the, yeah. Say OK. One input selected. One can only hope. And it didn't do it. All right, well, can't do anything about that now. This is a failure from that regard, and we'll have to learn more about it later. And so long.